some time now that there are very few humans out there. So we walk every morning, we kayak, we go into the woods, we garden, we're in the yard, we do things, and we don't see anyone else. And this has been going on for years. You know, at first in 2020, we thought it was just because people were afraid to go out. But still, we're out there, and there are very few humans. Also, someone remarked that they thought that there was going to be this mass extermination, but they keep seeing babies coming in. Yes, those are the Borgs. Those are the cyborg babies that are being born. So they get 3 days in the bardo, and they're right back in. So the mass extermination is happening, and the things that come in are not human. In fact, I would suggest that they are dead. They are here, but they are dead. And that is because they are basically walking zombies. And they need to have...
So guys, I've been telling you about this for fucking years, mate. 4 years now. The Walking Dead. Now, what I say the Walking Dead are, my partner will say they're soulless, and that could be true. The Walking Dead are godless. Godless. Empty. Spiritually dead inside. That's what the Walking Dead are. That's what Lolita here is describing. Listen up, mate. When I say to you, yeah, 95% or more are soulless, organic, empty portals enabled for entity possession, demonic possession. They're walking meat suits. They're low consciousness. Low consciousness. Able for entities to walk in and walk out of. This is why you see the fucktard NPCs. Certainly in this country. And every other country, mate. Out there drinking alcohol. Down the pub every fucking Friday, Saturday night. And the Sunday lunch. Eating a fucking roast dinner. Roast dead animal, beef, pork, gravy. You know, drinking bottles of wine. This is, you know, this is normal. This is how I was brought up, mate. Yeah? This is how I was brought up. By fucking NPCs, mate. By the same people I'm talking about.
All these tweaks in their bodies all the time, which is why we now have a whole lot of mRNA stuff coming out. Because their bodies are barely able to be a robot, like a biological robot. So everyone that you see coming in now is a biological robot. And that's why unless you have your platelets and your red blood cells and your...
And this is what my partner's been saying for years as well. She calls them androids. Well, is it just the same shit, different day? Different way of calling, you know, same shit. She's calling it a robot, a biological robot. Organic android, what, you know, whatever. It's the same shit, mate. Yeah?
Hemoglobin.
That's what the AI black goo nanotech is.
And you are still have that singing blood of a human. You're basically a robot. You think that you are having a human experience, but you're not. You're in a blood bank. And you're going to be used for your secretions. And that's how I see these smart cities. To me, how I see them taking away rural relationships, country living, experiences in nature, and how so many people are just happy to live in an apartment in the city. Those are the blood banks. And if you watched the video that I shared on the community page about these blood banks, that's the new cannibalism.
Not only are those the blood banks, they are the breeding programs as well. These big fucking blocks, these council blocks you see. I've lived in one, mate. Yeah, with one of my girlfriends. And she was the one telling me, this is a breeding ground. This is where the mothers are sent to have their fucking babies. Because, you know, this is the council flats. They're breeding fucking Depends.
So we're basically all being made into vampires, because what I understand is that most medications have human blood in them. You have to watch that video. And where are they getting this blood? They are getting it from the super impoverished people since 2008 that don't have enough resources to pay their rent. Many of them are on the street or in very low income housing. And so all of these crashes are part of that plan to destroy the human, to separate it from its spirit, and to make it into a thing that can't die, which is what black goo is. Black goo is dead, but it can't die, meaning it's sentient, but it has no spirit. Okay? And that's what this place is. That's what the machine is. And we're in the draconian fantasy land, right? So I also finally figured out the whole Tribal Knowledge Academy stuff and why they think that AB negative is the highest consciousness. It's astounding to me. And I don't want to discredit anyone in particular, because I think that's a huge polarization game. But I do think now that the AB blood has already got all those nanites in it. That's why it looks like a spike protein. So that highest consciousness is like a zombie vampire with cyborg controls in the little nanites that are all over the blood cell. That's exactly what's going on. That's why that's the highest consciousness, because it's already psychopathic, being controlled by 5G antennas. So this is really interesting to me. When I saw Harold Klaus Vella on the Power Hour, and he also...
So those 5G antennas, they're actually microwave weapons, okay? And the nanotech is able to be, like, when you put aluminium inside a microwave, watch what happens. So if you know how much aluminium is in everyone, you need to be detoxing constantly to get the shit out of you. Chlorella, spirulina, borax, there's a whole host of stuff. Urine therapy, all kinds of stuff, yeah? They're microwave weapons being hidden as 5G towers, yeah?
Said that the BRCA1 gene is being methylated out of our body, which is why we're seeing these huge increased rates in breast cancer, because it's definitely connected to the breast, the spleen, and the ovaries or the testicles. So we're seeing these turbo cancers, and every time you see a turbo cancer, that is the soul being removed so that you are stuck here in a dead matrix. Now, I did do a lot of research about methylene blue, and I have tried 1 drop of it in water just to see what effect it had on me. Claude is drinking it in his water right now. He is the AB blood type, so it seems to work really well for him. For me, it was just like kind of strange. My digestion got a little bit weird. But again, that's because I'm O positive. And the only reason I'm O positive, because my father was O null, I believe, is because I have the allele for, or what's called the mutation for malaria. My father was in Vietnam. So when I was in Mexico, I basically tested positive for malaria, but it had no symptoms. So that's my O positive thing. And that's the only thing that makes me different from the golden mean blood, O null. So, there's a lot of people asking me to, talk about this, discredit this person, discredit this person, discredit this person. There's a huge conversation on my Facebook page again right now about David Icke and Dolores Cannon, and I have already addressed these people, right? They're part of the controlled opposition where they're giving you the truth. They're giving you the topic to be entertained by, but they're not letting you know that you are soon going to be dead, but you cannot die. You will be like a vampire controlled by nanites and have no thoughts of your own, no creativity of your own, and you'll be like the rest of the Walking Dead who are driving their cars. So if this was true in 2014, that 70% of Americans are already nanite Borgs being controlled, what is it now, 10 years later? And that's what I'm seeing. That's really what I'm seeing with Claude, is that if there's even 1% of us here that is still human, it's amazing. Now, the healing journey is to remember that you are completely innocent of this, and that this whole place is draconian fantasy land, okay? And their thing is to trick you into coming back, coming back, coming back, coming back. So someone also asked me a question about, what is this thing with, should I get married? Should I have children? I wouldn't. And what we really are going to have to do is form a certain amount of breakaway societies, because I do think that they are going to stuff us all in smart cities and use our secretions for blood banks. And that's the plan. That's why they need to get us all into a particular blood type, because only that blood type is the one that they want. That's the secretion that allows the organ harvesting. And one person also commented, and I love the comments. My gosh, you're all so brilliant. The comments that you're making on my videos. You have to be careful about the digital world, because if you have ever filled out an online driver's license online and agreed to be an organ donor, you basically cannot get that off your card, because it's digital. You see, they can always refer back to that digital thing. Oh, no, see, here it is. She said that she's going to donate her this, her that, and her other thing. So be careful about that. That's part of this whole trickery with the digital health pass, right? You have to be willing to give up your secretions. You have to be willing to take their experimental this and that to degrade you into basically a vampire cyborg, so that you are no longer connected to your oversoul. And someone also asked me about your higher self. Well, you probably have one. And if it has any kind of connection to you still through your spirit, through your soul, if you are still connected and you have not been severed because BRCA1 has been methylated out of your body, then your soul would be telling you, don't take any of this stuff. Like mine very strongly was like, no way, you couldn't pay me $2 million to put that in my body. So that's how you know if you're still connected to your so-called higher self, which I hate that word higher, because it's not higher than you. It's your cosmic truth of who you are before this physical hologram. If you are connected, then it would immediately be like, no way, do not drink that water, do not take that. And it's not just in that. I've also seen, because my friend keeps sending me this stuff, that it's in every single thing that they put into your gums when you go to the dentist. It's in every INJECTION. It's in all